Welcome to the FNF Victory Road Draft League Season 3 Losers Semifinals. This is going to be a set between Morgana and the Lakeshore Ledians and Startoad and the Milwaukee Mudkips. The winner of this set will advance on to the Losers Finals to face Drizzle Boy and Creation Vanilux. And both of these trainers have gone against each other before this season. Morgana did win that battle, but Startoad definitely has shown some prowess, and Morgana as well. Both of them have really showcased how they use their teams in a lot of interesting ways. So we see Morgana with sort of a standard team build that he likes to run with. Actually, Startoad as well. Both pretty standard teams that they have liked to Pokemon that they'd like to use quite a bit. So it's going to be some interesting interactions. We do see some Hail, but no Hail abusers. We also see Misty Terrain coming from Morgana. And Heatran's going to be one of those Pokemon that I think Startoad wants to take down because Scizor might have trouble with it. Scizor can carry Superpower, but yeah, Scizor definitely is one of the Pokemon that needs to be kept alive for Startoad. In terms of Morgana's team, I think that he's really going to want to take out Scizor, so preserving Heatran. Gastrodon looks like it could be a problem if Ninetales doesn't have Freeze Dry. And Zera doesn't look too comfortable here, actually. Maybe if it has Fire Punch, but otherwise there's a lot of Pokemon that Zeraora might struggle to take down. But this is probably going to be a fast one. Startoad definitely having more bulk than Morgana, and this one Morgana going a little bit more on the offensive, so we're going to see how that dynamic plays out. And let's jump in and see how it goes. So we start with Kyoko the Tapu Fini versus Passimian. Choice Scarf Passimian in particular is a very popular Pokemon that Startoad likes to use, and I do think this is Choice Scarf as well. There's a U-turn. The Scald is only going to do 15% to Amoonguss, who switches in. Amoonguss having really nice typing versus Tapu Fini, so Garn switches in to take the Giga Drain or Sludge Bomb. There's actually a Stomping Tantrum calling out that switch. 48% on Garn. Very nice prediction there. Irene comes in, and Latios comes in. So in comes Crocodile instead to face Irene. And Irene goes for the Shadow Ball. That's only going to do 27%. Irene does have access to Energy Ball, but decides to switch out. The Pursuit is going to take it down to its Sash, and Irene now hangs on at 1%. No kills yet, though, as Dromark comes in to face Crocodile. And in comes Amoonguss. Dromark goes for the Close Combat. That's not going to do much to Amoonguss, but it will actually harm Dromark with the Rocky Helmet damage. So Garn switches in again. Will we see another Stomping Tantrum? No, we see the Spore. Now that Misty Terrain is gone, Amoonguss just wants to Spore whatever it can. Melia comes in, setting up Hail, and there is Crocodile. Melia can go for the Blizzard or Moonblast in this situation, but dangerous if Crocodile is Scarfed. Scizor switches in instead, and there's actually Aurora Veil set up. Scizor still will hit extremely hard with Bullet Punch and can set up a Swords Dance. Jet Setter the Zeraora comes in, and there's the Mega Evolution and the Brick Break actually destroying the Aurora Veil, so Jet Setter is not protected from how hard Scizor hits. It still can go for a Fire Punch. Scizor switches out knowing that, and in comes Gastrodon. It's a knockoff actually that Zeraora decides to go for, which is going to remove Gastrodon's leftovers. Still no kills. Ninetales comes back in, and Gastrodon goes for the Earth Power. Going to do 37%. Decent damage versus Melia. And Passimian comes in. There's the Heal Bell. That's actually going to wake Garn up. And that Close Combat takes down Melia. Of course, Passimian being Scarfed. Scarf Passimian is very, very potent. Irene comes in to take advantage of the locking into a fighting move, and there's Amoonguss. Irene goes for the Dazzling Gleam. That's not going to work versus Amoonguss. I think he was predicting the Crook switch in. Mystical Fire going to do 46% and lower special attack, but Amoonguss will be able to retaliate with Giga Drain, and the score is now 4-6 in Startoad's favor. So Jet Setter comes in, and Close Combat not going to do much to Amoonguss, bringing it down to 29%, while the Rocky Helmet damages Jet Setter even more. The Giga Drain bringing Jet Setter down to 7, and Amoonguss now sits at 40%. The Fire Punch does take down Amoonguss, but a Jet Setter ends up going down in return as well. So the score is 3-5, and it's looking pretty tough for Morgana to deal with Scizor. Heatran is still alive, and Latios comes in going for that Z move. It is Gigavolt Havoc that's going to take Kyoko down in one shot. Score is now 2-5. Dromark the Mudsdale comes in to meet Latios, and the Surf is going to do 43% to Dromark. And unless that's a roll, I think it might be able to take down Dromark. Earthquake not going to work versus Latios, as the Surf brings Dromark down to 4%. Dromark goes for the Iron Head. That does 44. Decent damage, but it can't take another Surf. Indeed, Dromark goes down from that Surf. Score is now 1-5. Garn sitting at 52% comes in, and the Surf is going to bring it down to 3%. Latios hit with the Flash Cannon, but not taken down. And the final Psychic takes down Garn. So that is a 5-0 victory for Startoad and the Milwaukee Mudkips over Morgana and Lakeshore Ledians. But that is just match 1. We still have at least one more match to go in this set. Can Morgana bring it back? Will Startoad win the set? Last season, Startoad did have a very successful losers run, so maybe he's looking to replicate that again. I think that Latios was the big problem for Morgana. It's wide move pool, it's nice speed, and it just hits like a truck. So I think that he's going to have to account for Latios. And also, just that Startoad has a lot of bulky, hard-hitting Pokemon that are also pretty fast. With a Scarf, Passimian can challenge Morgana at his own game, which is speed. So these are all things that I think Morgana's going to have to consider going into the second round. Not sure what changes Startoad would make. It seems like he had a really good grip on that match, so I don't think he'll make much changes. So let's see how it goes going into match number 2. Alright, so here we are in match number 2. We have some changes. No changes on Startoad's team, but we do have changes on Morgana's team. We have Sharpedo and Beartic coming in, and they're going to replace Mudsdale and Miss Magius. So we do have some more speedy Pokemon, Beartic and the Hail, being able to abuse Slush Rush and also hit hard, which will help deal with Latios and Amoonguss. And then Sharpedo can rack up some speed boosts as well. So I think that these are overall good changes for Morgana. So let's see how he does in this one versus Startoad. Will Startoad get another victory and move on to face Drizzle Boy, or will Morgana get the game 3? We start with Jet Setter the Zeraora versus Crocodile. And that Intimidate is going to cut Jet Setter's attack. The Close Combat, combined with the Intimidate, combined with the Chople Berry, only does 39% to Crocodile, who retaliates with the Earthquake, taking Jet Setter out in one shot. Score is 5-6, and we have an explosive match right off the bat. Melia, the Ninetales, comes in. It will outspeed Crocodile, most likely. Indeed, and there's the Blizzard taking down Crocodile. The score is 5-5. An even 5-5 with Hail up. Scizor comes in to take advantage of that quadruple weakness as Garn comes in. There's the Mega Evolution and the Bullet Punch. It's not going to do much to Garn. The quadruple weakness turned into a quadruple resistance. So Garn is hanging on at a comfortable 89% as Gastrodon comes in. Garn goes for the Flamethrower. That's going to do 19% to Gastrodon. Not much damage. Gastrodon pretty comfortable in this matchup, and it will be hard for Morgana to take down, I think. And actually, Garn goes for the Z move. It looks like Z Solar Beam most likely. The Bloom Doom takes down Gastrodon, and the score becomes 5-4. Garn now at 76% as Passimian comes in. There's Kyoko the Tapu Fini. So the Earthquake does 36% to Kyoko. Not bad damage. And Scizor switches in. Kyoko calls out the switch and going for the Hidden Power Fire. That's going to bring Scizor down to 36%, 30 after Hail. Scizor might not be able to take down Kyoko, so it does switch out. In comes Amoonguss at 100%, and another Hidden Power brings Amoonguss down to 66%. Of course, Amoonguss is a lot bulkier and doesn't have that quad weakness, So another hidden power fire going to bring Amoonguss down to 26%, but the Giga Drain allows Amoonguss to recover back to a little bit more comfortable HP in order to take another hidden power fire. Kyoko now at 28% decides to stay in and go for the hidden power fire again, bringing Amoonguss down to 6%. Amoonguss has synthesis though, so it now is sitting at a comfortable 56%. And Kyoko decides to switch out now, setting up the Hail. Will we see the Spore now that the Misty Terrain is gone? No, we don't. Latios actually comes in. Not going to want to take a Blizzard from Melia, though, so we might see another switch in. Actually, no, we see the Psychic from Latios, and Melia goes for the Aurora Veil, so it will be able to survive another Psychic this time. The Latios probably won't be able to survive a Blizzard, though, so Passimian comes in at 94%. There's the Moonblast, and it takes down Passimian. The score is 5-3. So Scizor comes in at 30%, and the Blizzard's going to hit. It's going to do 15% to Scizor and freeze Scizor. Scizor now frozen at 15%. It is not thawed. At 9% now from the Hail. Scizor is not happy. It goes first, trying to go for the Bullet Punch. Doesn't work. The Blizzard takes down Scizor, and the score becomes 5-2, with Melia still at 46%. The Hail is still up. The Aurora Veil is still up, and Amoonguss comes in at 89%. There's another Blizzard hitting hard, taking Amoonguss down to 18%, and there's the Spore. Spore on Melia is good because Latios fears Melia the most out of all the Pokemon, I think. And there is Garn, the Heatran, coming in to deal with Amoonguss, but Latios switches in at 89%. The Hail is still up for one more turn. The Surf hits Garn pretty hard, bringing it down to 18%, but that Flash Cannon also going to hit Latios hard, bringing it down to 32%. And another Thunderbolt takes out Garn. Score is now 4-2. Melia comes in, setting up that Hail again, probably to lead the way for Beartick. There's Kyoko, the Tapu Fini, also setting up a Misty Surge to prevent the Spore. And Psychic takes out Kyoko. The score is now 3-2 as Latios continues to hang on and wreak some havoc. But Beartick comes in, boosted by the Slush Rush. Tibbers. Latios actually goes first, using its Z move. It's a Gigavolt Havoc that's going to bring Tibbers down to 21%. And Tibbers goes for the Play Rough, taking out Latios. Maybe this is an Adamant Tibbers, and that isn't enough to outspeed Latios. And Amoonguss comes in. Tibbers goes for the Icicle Crash, taking out Amoonguss, and that is the game. It is a 3-0 victory for Morgana and the Lakeshore Ledians, a 1-1 set score. And the final match will determine everything, who goes on to the losers finals and who is knocked out of the bracket. This is very exciting. So these changes definitely helped Morgana a lot. I think having Hidden Power Fire on Tapu Fini helped a lot, the Z move on Heatran, and also having Tibbers there to take advantage of that Hail really helped. So I think Startoad is going to make changes accordingly to that. I think we might see Pokemon that could more easily take on Ninetales and Beartick. Maybe Scizor is going to play a little bit more of a pivotal role. Maybe Roost on Scizor, so it has some longevity. But he's definitely going to have to be careful of Hidden Power Fire. And yeah, really interesting set. I'm wondering how Beartick and Hail is how he's going to deal with Beartick and Hail, or make accommodations to Beartick and Hail. I don't see Morgana making too many changes. I think he found his groove for this match. But let's see. Let's see how this goes in match 3. And match 3 is now here between Morgana and Startoad. We actually do have changes on both teams. We have Meloetta coming in for Morgana. So we have the removal of Zeraora, which is surprising because Morgana usually brings Zeraora, but I don't think Zeraora is that great for this matchup, so I think this was a smart move. I think we might see some Z celebrating going on. Meloetta will be extremely potent after a Z celebrate. And then Startoad also made a change, taking out Gastrodon for Bronzong. Gastrodon didn't do much. It did seem like a hard, bulky Pokemon to take down, but with Misty Terrain going up, preventing Toxics a lot, and mediocre damage output, I think that it was a good switch. Bronzong is really going to be able to wall Melia, the Ninetales, and also potentially Beartick. So both teams made some good changes, and I think we're going to see a really nice battle here. So let's jump in and see how this goes. We start with Passimian versus Kyoko the Tapu Fini. That's not a good matchup for Passimian, so we'll probably see a U-turn out of there. Indeed, the U-turn allows Passimian to switch in, and in comes Amoonguss. That Moonblast going to do 20% to Amoonguss, not much damage, as Kyoko recovers to 95%. There's Garn the Heatran coming in. Giga Drain only going to do 3% to Garn. And Latios switches in. The Flamethrower not going to do much to Latios, bringing it down to 75%. The Surf does decent damage to Garn, 32%. Garn goes for the Dark Pulse. Latios now at 14%. This might be an Assault Vest Heatran actually, because that Surf did such little damage. In comes Crocodile, and Garn goes for the Flash Cannon. That's going to do big damage to Crocodile as well, bringing it down to 39%. Kyoko, the Tapu Fini, comes in. And Crocodile goes for the Stealth Rock. Kyoko does have access to Defog, though. I'm not sure if that's what it's going to use this turn. I guess it will. Amoonguss comes in, and indeed we see the Defog removing those rocks. Melia comes in, still protected by the Misty Terrain. And Giga Drain's not going to do much damage, 26% on Melia. Melia does have the opportunity to set up an Aurora Veil now. Bronzong comes in. And indeed, there is that Aurora Veil. Bronzong will be tough for Melia to deal with because of the Gyro Ball, though, so Heatran switches in instead. And Bronzong goes for the Earthquake, a nice call out to that switch-in. Garn won't be able to take another Earthquake, even behind Aurora Veil. And in comes Latios at 14%. The Dark Pulse is able to take out Latios, and the score is now 6-5. Garn hanging on at 19%. And there's Passimian. We might see a close combat. Yeah, there's the close combat taking out Garn. The score is now 5-5. Hail still up, Aurora Veil still up for one turn, and in comes Neptune. Crocodile comes in, intimidating Neptune. It's at 39%, and Neptune goes for the Protect. It's not going to work versus Crocodile. It does get that speed boost now, though. Crocodile at 33%, and Amoonguss is going to switch in to take the presumed Liquidation. Indeed, it's Liquidation. That's only going to hurt Neptune quite a bit because of the Rocky Helmet, Life Orb, and Hail combination. So Neptune now at 62%, already frail. Psychic Fangs does decent damage to Amoonguss. It is intimidated still, but Amoonguss is able to retaliate and take it down with the Giga Drain. And the score now becomes 4-5. The Hail goes away though, and in comes Melia, the Ninetales Alola. Tibbers the Beartick switches in though, and Scizor also switches in. Interesting matchup here. I don't think Tibbers can do much to Scizor. And there's the Mega Evolution. Tibbers actually goes for the Swords Dance. Interesting. Scizor also going for the Swords Dance. This is looking really scary for Morgana. I'm not sure what Tibbers can do unless it has... No, it doesn't have Z-Move privilege. The Bullet Punch hits it. The Babidi Berry actually weakens that Bullet Punch to bring it down to 35%. Brick Break going to do 39% to Scizor. Scizor now at 43%. Another Brick Break still won't be enough to take it down. And the Bullet Punch misses. What? Brick Break brings Scizor down to 7%, and the Hail brings it down to 1%. What? Oh my gosh, this is the Snow Cloak Beartick and not a Slush Rush Beartick. Wow. Morgana, you little devil. So they both go down. That is, wow, that's interesting. So the Hidden Power only does 14% to Bronzong. That is indeed a heat-proof Bronzong. Probably invested in special defense too, so not much damage coming from Kyoko. And in comes Melia, the Ninetales Alola. Amoonguss switches in. Not really the best matchup for Amoonguss, especially because Misty Terrain is still up, and Melia can still go for some Blizzards. So Bronzong is the one who switches in, and it's actually Aurora Veil that Melia goes for. Smart, because Bronzong probably can hit hard. In comes Echo the Meloetta, and there's actually a Trick Room set up, so that's going to disincentivize Echo from going for the Z Celebrate. And actually it's a Relic Song. So we see Meloetta switch into its Pirouette form, Gyro Ball hitting only 22%, and there's the Fire Punch. Not going to do much to Bronzong, bringing it down to 34. Morgana is pulling out all the stops in this battle with the gimmicky sets. Fire Punch is going to hit Bronzong, and that Serene Grace comes in clutch. The burn is inflicted on Bronzong. Trick Room still in effect for one more turn, and there's that Gyro Ball. Echo brought down to 36% as Bronzong is taken out by the close combat. Score is now 3-3. Echo is compromised in defense, though. The Reflect is still up for 3 more turns. Crocodile comes in, and Echo has its attack lowered. Ice Punch is going to hit, bringing Crocodile down to 10% and also freezing it. Another freeze in this set. Crocodile it cannot thaw out, so in comes Amoonguss at 100%. And Ice Punch is going to hit, doing 13% to Amoonguss. Not enough to take it out. Ice Punch hits again, probably hoping for the freeze. Amoonguss steadily doing residual damage, and the Giga Drain takes out Echo. Amoonguss at 73%. But the Reflect is also gone. The score is now 2-3, and Ninetales Lola comes out. A Blizzard will hit really hard. Crocodile comes in. It is frozen. Blizzard does hit very hard, taking out Crocodile. The score is now 2-2. And in comes Amoonguss, probably hoping for that Spore. Tapu Fini switches in to prevent the Spore, and it is Spore. Kyoko at 63%, but the Spore is not going to work because of the Misty Terrain. Hidden Power is going to do decent damage to Amoonguss. Amoonguss going for the Giga Drain, though. That's going to hit really hard. Kyoko at 26% now. Amoonguss is brought down to 70%. Another Hidden Power Fire brings Amoonguss down to 38%, and Giga Drain takes out Kyoko. The last Pokemon standing is Ninetales Lola. There is still Misty Terrain and Hail up, however. I think the play here is to go for that Aurora Veil and take down both Amoonguss and Passimian. Can Melia solo this? Melia goes for the Blizzard, taking out Amoonguss, but Passimian is still scarfed and faster. This battle comes down to this final match. Will we see Ironhead, Passimian, or even close combat could take it out? It's actually Gunk Shot, and that takes out Melia, and that is the match. It's a 1-0 narrow victory for Startoad. What a match. And a 2-1 set score for Startoad. He will advance onto the losers finals to face Drizzle Boy as Morgana is taken out of the bracket. But what a match, what a performance from both of these players. Morgana especially showcasing wild sets. We have, instead of Slush Rush, Snow Cloak Beartic, Pirouette form Meloetta, just pulling out all the stops. And Startoad using his Bronzong also to foil some of Morgana's plans with Trick Room, setting up Reflect. So that was also very smart of Startoad, and I think both these players played spectacularly. It was a really exciting set, and so thank you for tuning in. That was really interesting, and let's see what happens in Losers Finals. That's coming up next. Until then, this is Noel, and I'll see you for those battles.